Well, well, well. I think we're live. We got our good old low attention span quarterback. Sending out the notos. I think my mic is kind of shitting out right now. I don't think it's as high quality as it should be. Remove that, and then I'll move that, and then I think that's it. Adjust the mic. Okay. Okay, what was I even doing here? It might be a little bit laggy. What's up, Avantador? How you doing, man? The low attention span corner is here. We need that shit. What are we thinking of it? Oh wait, it's blurred out. I hope that really rakes in the viewers. So stupid. But it's been so long. Yes, this low attention span quarter is definitely a must. I'm just sending out another ping. It's gonna bring in the ad revenue. So much. What up, soap? Soup? I butchered that. How y'all doing though? How are we doing? I've been on summer break for like a month and have gotten nothing done. But this project is going good so far. I hope to keep it that way. Let's see. I want to give these guys a weapon. I'm still trying to work out the kinks of this AI system that I have going. But this is the most over-engineered system I've ever made. It's crazy. Like, it does not need to be this complex, but it manages to be insanely crazy. I think I have a sword model pack that I want to bring in. So now we get to have fun and wait for Unity to do its thing. Okay, so I want to say it was called Medieval Weapons Pack or something like that. I'm gonna assume it's this one. Or maybe not. Let me look at it on another monitor. This is not the one we wanted. Might be this one. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna be bringing in these handy dandy models. I don't know if you guys can hear my birds in the background, but they are going crazy. As soon as I decide to go live. Don't want that. Alright, let's get this in here. Alright, that's good to know. I've been working on this for a couple weeks consistently. So I'm not dropping it yet. But it's hard to say. The motivation to kind of work on things has been kind of low. And there's a lot of different factors. But I'm pushing through it. Trying to. I've been distracting myself by playing a lot of the finals. I've been having a blast on the new season. But let's see. So we got our Mr. Skeleton here. He needs a weapon, and I think I'm just gonna give him like a sword or something. Let's see. I think we need to import this. Did it work? Okay, there we go. And I think I can just drop this in his right hand. Let me reset all that. We don't need these colliders. This is kind of a baller skeleton model. And I mean, I don't want to take credit for it. I did buy it on that $2 sale. But let's see what. Okay. That works well. I'll mess with this collision a bit. So I think, let's see. Let's look at the one-handed attack. Yeah, that works. Okay. So, let's see where I left off on this AI system. Okay. There's our guy with his sword. I gave him a little jump attack too. I think it kind of works, but it doesn't go that far. I'm trying to figure out how to make him go further, but that's been kind of a challenge. Look, he's aura farming. Just standing there menacingly. And he should want to strafe in a bit. Maybe it's broken. Who knows? Yeah, he's just aura farming. And then he will chase you if you get far enough. Okay, he's not playing the right animation. Oh, leak. We got a leak. Okay, now he's chasing. Now he's aura farming. This guy's funny. Let's see. So he has different movement modes. And when he's in the chase state, he should switch to the run movement mode. So we gotta look at that. Let's see. So let's find his chase state. Okay. On enter, movement mode dot run. And then he just moves to that. Think it's fire? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Where's my combat state? Okay, so combat state, they go in the walk movement mode. And I think we gotta find every instance of this. Walk, run. So on start ability, watch strafe. I think we removed this function. And let's recompile, and we're gonna get a good old debug right here. So let's just do debug, chase state entered. And then yeah, we'll see what happens. We should get some logs in the console. Where's our guy at? Okay, so he's getting stuck in the combat state. Okay, he is strafing now. Let's see. So they do roll every 5 seconds. He'll roll for a 25% chance to start strafing around the player. See, and he'll do it for I think 10 seconds. So it kind of adds variety when you got like a bunch of enemies around you. Because some of them are going to be strafing around you, and then some of them are going to be attacking you. And now he's aura farming. They're a little bit janky, but I think it works because this is more of like a horde fighting game. So they don't need to be perfect, if you get what I mean. But we do have an issue with them going to the chase state. Let's see what's going on here. So we can go from combat to chase. if we're not in the attack range or if we're in the chase range and we're not attacking. I think the chase range, so. Okay, so if the current distance of the target is less than the chase range, which doesn't make sense, it should be greater than. We only want to start chasing if we're outside of this range. So that is probably going to mess with our other transition. So we go to combat and we can do not in chase range. And that should get our guy chasing us again. Let's try it again. Okay. Okay. He's attacking. There we go. Now he's chasing. Now he's getting close. Combat. He's gonna attack. Now he's gonna strafe, and then if we run, he'll kind of do like a little zigzag to get to me. And then I don't have damaging enemies implemented yet, but I think we're about to do that. He's just aura farming through that. I don't know how loud that was compared to my voice. Let's do a test. I'm talking. I hope this isn't too loud. I hope you can hear me still. If you can, that's good. Okay. It's alright. Should I make the game quieter? I'll make it a little bit quieter. And then, let's see. I guess we just give this guy the ability to be murdered. So we need to add ability system character and attribute system to him. We'll fill that in. And then we're gonna do some debugging. So we need to give this guy an initialize stats behavior. We'll drag that in, and I'm gonna reuse this. So he'll be initialized with 100 health, mana, max health, all that stuff. And we'll add the clamp health. And we'll add health. And I think we could just do health and max health. And then I don't think we need to fill these out. We should be fine. Let's see. No errors. And he gets initialized with our health and max health. And I'm going to turn this down for me because it is kind of hurting my ears. And then now we see his health going down. That's pretty sick. And then it should clamp at 0. Okay, I guess not. Let's see, let's quickly make sure it doesn't go below 0. Lamp attribute to max. I'm so lost. I can't read this. Lamp to min of 0. I think that works. I'm debating ragdolls. You know, on one hand, it will cost extra performance, but I could just make them despawn. So let's just get this guy super low. Okay, there we go. Alright. So now, we need to actually kill this guy. Alright, let's see. I might have a death animation lying around somewhere. Let's see. Die. I mean, that's a little dramatic. That is so... These are so dramatic. Dude, what is that? That one's so comically fast. It's just slams to the ground. I think we can use this one. I would say I would like a little bit faster. I can't English. I kind of like these ones though. I think we're gonna do this one, but we're gonna make it a bit faster. Yeah. So let's just die. And yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're from like Indian or like Korean dramas. That's what they look like. They're just all like super slow mo. I think 1.25 would work. Okay, that's pretty good. Not like too dramatic. And then let's see. So we need to add a die function. So let's see. I'm thinking we just add a check mark or just a bool. Private, can I type? Private bool dead is dead. False. And then yeah, we'll just do a void set dead. And if is dead, return. If is dead, return. If is dead, return. So it'll stop any active states from running. Yeah. I think that's gonna be it. Right. And then we need to have some sort of event system that can track the state of those attributes. Because right now, like, these health attributes kind of just exist. Nothing is done with them. And I kind of want to use something from here. Too sure? I'm trying to think of a way we can do this. Let's see. Thinking we create a new script that does runtime Unity events for that. So let's do this. So let's just put it here. Or not here. Attribute system components. And we'll call this runtime attribute event handler. And let's see. Thanks for the hearts. I see you. I see you pressing the heart button in the chat. I appreciate you. So let's do a private class. And we'll take in an attribute author. Okay. Okay, well, the autofill is attribute. Then I think we can do like a public Unity of that. On attribute changed. So I think do something like that, and then we need to make this class realizable. And then we'll do a public enum event type. And we can do thinking less than 0, just to make it a little bit generic for now. On event triggered. We'll just leave it like that for now. I don't want to. Event handlers, then we're going to need a reference to our attribute system. Let's see. Attribute system component. Where is this guy located? Attribute system dot components. I'm letting autofill do this. Switch case. My brain is like not doing much right now. So attribute system dot. Let's see. Might be something we need to track every frame. Which I kind of don't want to do. We might just have to do it, unfortunately. I hope this This looks like it'll work. I want to assume it'll work. I'm just letting the computer do all the coding right now. Okay. It might work. Let's recompile. I hope we're enjoying the low attention span corner. And then we need to fill this out. And we'll add the health attribute. Less than 0. On event triggered, we'll go to our melee enemy. And we'll do set dead to true. And for convenience, I'm gonna make the beam ability do a lot of damage, so we'll just do like -10 damage per tick. And that should hopefully do something. Okay. Let's get our guy here. Okay, well, he didn't die. And, okay, that didn't get triggered. I think it's because it only does less than 0. Less than 4 equal to 0. I should have seen that coming. There's a reason I'm not good at math. Okay, so this should hopefully actually kill our guy. We want you dead, Mr. Skeleton. Okay. He's not dead. That's how you know I'm washed. Let's see. So, let's get a good old debug going. Boom, invoke. And let's get a debug for both of these, I guess. So, yeah, okay, maybe now we can figure out why it's deciding not to work. Event triggered. Let's see. I think we need to do an ability that doesn't do damage over time. Let me change it to the projectile. And then, actually, I don't think this one does damage yet, so bear with me while we figure this out. It might just be working now, actually. think it's just working now, which I won't really question. Let's see. Let's do it one more time and see if it triggers exactly when it's on 0. Yeah. Okay. It does trigger twice, which kind of sucks. So all we really need to do is just check if we're already dead, so we avoid calling the die function twice. So let's just create a on death, and we'll just do if is dead, and then we'll just do a animator dot crossfade death, and I think we just do we call this up here. Or let's see. That is dead and only call on death if it was false. Okay. My brain is just not working right now. And then this is kind of triggering my OCD. I want to move that up there. And then we'll add a title, references, event handlers. This will make the inspector look a lot nicer. So we got it. References. There we go. Where's my event handlers? And then I actually want to draw this with I don't like the way Odin Inspector draws lists or arrays. Okay. There we go. This looks a lot nicer. So we got that. Set is dead. Now let's play this. Okay. He's gonna aura walk and then he's gonna start attacking me. I don't know why he kind of aura farms there for a second. I think he's unable to attack because all of his attacks have cooldowns. So let's. Okay, well it's working, but I think I put it in the wrong way. Yeah. Bye. Go to melee enemy. Die. Whoa. It works. But our guy is floating. I think it has to do with this. It's just like in the air for some reason. Yeah. Let's go back here. We'll find the die animation. There we go. And then I saw him moving a little bit. So we could do this and then do a agent dot destination. Not what I wanted. to itself. We shouldn't move after being murdered. Okay. That's solid. I do want to mess with that animation a little bit. So let's just, I'm gonna clip it. Yeah, I think from there is fine. Original, bam. There we go. One more for the road. Alright. Let's go indeed. We have dying implemented. Okay. Let's see. -1. So, let me see. I'm trying to think what should be next. Whoa. Player can't be damaged yet. So I think we'll try to get our guy to be able to damage the player. Let's see. Is this grounds for demonetization? I think my stream's gonna get blocked. I am extremely tired. Level. Okay, we need to give this guy a cast helper. Cast helper. And I guess we'll create a new ability for the skeleton. So I'll just call this a skeleton abilities. And we'll make another one. I really cannot talk. Another one for the player though. So let's move this to the skeleton. The skeleton will have their own initialized stats ability. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll call this skeleton. Initialize stats underscore GE gameplay effect. And I don't think enemies will have mana. We'll assign that, and then we'll go back to our skeleton. And we'll put this here. Okay. So now we got to create a new ability. So we'll call this melee ability. And let's see. Make a new script called melee ability. And I think actually I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. We'll call it melee ability. We'll go in and see how it goes. So we'll call this melee ability scriptable object. And I think we need to derive from not beam ability, but abstract ability. We'll get our usings in here. Fix, implement that. And I'm gonna go bathroom real quick actually. Okay, now we're chill. And another yawn. I'm trying to think of how this. Well, I think it's just gonna check for a radius and do damage to whoever's in there. And I think it's just gonna spawn it. Yeah. I think we're just gonna spawn a sphere, check inside the sphere, and then do damage to whoever's in there. So I am so unbelievably tired for no reason. So, and then we'll just do a okay. The AI is assuming I want to do stuff. So we'll have an optional activation cooldown. Play effect cost. And then finally, effect applied to the target. Yeah. And we need to create a melee ability spec. Implementing it, chill out. And then let me just copy paste. So that's empty. Cancel ability is empty. And then this is yield return null. And then this, I'll just copy that. Okay. Then we are going to put you on one line. We don't like you on multiple lines. You're useless. So let's see. We're going to get the cast. We're going to get the cast origin. So first, I think equals owner dot cast helper dot get cast point for the I think the ability caps. Okay. And then we're just gonna add a yield return null. Then let's go back into Unity and set some stuff up. Okay. So we have this cast helper, so we're just gonna put in the melee, or we need to make that first. So melee ability, and we'll call this skeleton. Let me look at the naming for my other abilities. Player telekinesis. Okay, so we'll just call this scale. Scale. I just combined those two words. Oh, I cannot do this when I'm so tired. Anyways. Anyway. So we'll just have this empty for now. And let's put, well, actually, here we go. And cast point, I'm thinking just the right hand. So it'll create the sphere on his right hand, and then anything in that radius will get the effect. So I'm thinking we just get targets. That doesn't exist, dude. What are you talking about? So we could do bar targets equals physics overlap sphere, and we need to make a public accessor. Actually, we'll just make it public. And we don't need to serialize any of these. We're going full public. And then we need to do this actually. So far, melee. Okay. So we just do a sphere, and we'll do it on a certain layer. So layer.getMask. Let's just do a public layer mask. And we won't call this enemy layer mask. We want to be a little bit more generic with that. Because I want the player to be able to use this and enemies. I think that's kind of like the main learning point of this project is to have reusable abilities and effects, and everything kind of just works without having to make their own scripts and systems. So I'm trying to throw this in abstraction as much as possible. And I think we could do a public string target tags. And we'll ignore trigger colliders. So we'll compare the tag. And then if target, we try to get an ability system character. And then we should actually check if it's not the owner. We don't want the owner to be able to hurt themselves. I always get rusty on this part, so we got to create an instance of the effect to apply to whoever was hit. So let's see. Yeah, here we go. We just do this. So var, cool. So it'll apply this effect to whoever gets hit. So effect apply to target. You'll do terminal. Okay. Let's see if it just works. Okay, so let's create a new gameplay effect. So we'll make a folder for that. Then we'll do create ability system gameplay effect definition. And let's see. I'm trying to keep a similar name. So we'll do skeleton melee ability underscore GE. So now I think I put this here. And I have duplications, so we actually don't need this. So let's see. And then we'll do the activation one a bit later. So whatever layer the player is on, so they're on the default layer. And they have the player type. And we'll do a radius of like 2.5. And this will be kind of crazy. It's a pretty big radius, but it's whatever. So now we can do health. And we could do like minus like 10. I typed that. I butchered that. I am butchering things so much today. Yeah. So now we need a way to actually activate the ability. Let me go here and see. Okay. You can compile whenever you want, I guess. Alright. Create spec, and then we just start recording. Alright, that's pretty simple. So let me think. Combat data. We won't need that. think we just go to our attack data and abstract ability. Let's see. Let's do another public async, castability async. And we need to pass in the ability system character. Or actually, we do abstract that. There we go. That should work. That should work. Let's just assume it'll do something. So now we need to actually call that function. I think it's in the combat state. So attack async. Castability async. And we just pass in our enemy. I think we can put this down here as well. Let's see how it goes. We'll recompile. And then hope all goes well. So we're just gonna fill this in with the skeleton melee ability. And if I did things right, the player health attribute should start going down. So let me go find it. That's always fun. We got ourselves a good old-fashioned null that get cast point. Oh, I forgot to assign a reference. Cast helper is also. There we go. Okay. Maybe now it'll do something. So let's see if player damage actually works. He's gonna come here, blah blah blah. There we go. It's not synced up with his animation timing, but that is relatively easy to do. It's just a matter of adding like a cast time. That's always fun. Dude, my aim is so bad. Alright, this will kill him. Dead. What a comical death. And I think I want to change this to use my I have an animator. Let's see. I need to see how I handle animations here. Ability system character animator. And let's see. That did not work as expected. Okay, so player character animator. Why is it disabled is my question. Did that need to be disabled? Okay. I think I just accidentally disabled that. Die already. This guy's a beast. Yeah. Trying to think how to do this. Did not want to turn on haptics. Or that. Go back to game. There we go. Let's see. I need to look at this base class. Animator. Kind of shot myself in the foot when I made this the first time. Let's just do a new script called Enemy Character Animator. And let's see. Most complex piece of software. Player character anim. Player. Okay. So let's just. I think I could change this function or this script to derive from it. So let's implement the abstract class. And it looks like I forced myself to use animation hashes and layers. Melee ability. Okay. I think in the melee enemy animator, we need some hashes. I love myself some hashes. Where is my states? I would like to look at my animator, but I understand Unity if you don't want me to. I think just resetting the layers, yeah. Not the layers, but the layout did something. Attack 01, 02, and 03, so we're gonna do a public read on an int attack 01 hash. Fortunately, we will have to manually declare a bunch of these. So we'll do a public read on int jump attack 01 hash. And then we're gonna need another one for die. Die hash. Yeah. Bar. I think we need a cast time variable. I think all the other abilities have like a cast time delay. Yeah. Public float cast time. And then we can just we might not even need this since the other thing handles it. Let's try it out. Good old recompile. So this should work essentially the same. So we'll do a cast time of 0.1 seconds. So there should be a little delay before the player actually gets hit. So we'll do a show debug eBuy and we'll make sure the other ones are disabled. Now let's see what happens. Maybe the delay is a little too. Is 1 second really what we need? Almost. I think 0.75 works. Let me give myself more health. There we go. It kind of works for all the animations, which is nice. Alright. That is gonna go ahead and do it though for this stream. For anyone in here or watching the VOD that got here, thank you for watching. I hope to start streaming more consistently and making videos in general. But yeah, I'll see y'all later.